Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Suter again. Today we're back and we're going to be looking at another branch of science called biology. And biology is the study of living things. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be collecting and observing an animal from outside. This bug that we're going to be collecting is not dangerous. It will not bite you or sting you. So we're going to be collecting a pillbug. And we're going to be using it with our book, Next Time You See a Pillbug, and it's written by Emily Morgan. This is a National Science Teachers Association book series. I love the whole series, Next Time You See A, and there's all different kinds of them. We're going to be using this one today, observing our pillbug, and then we're going to be talking about biomimicry, and we'll talk about what that is. Now, biology, bio means life, ology means study, so it's the study of life. And so we're going to observe life. Now remember, we want to observe life. We wanted to put it back while it still has life. So don't harm anything that you're going to be collecting and observing, okay? Now, to find a pill bug, we're going to need something to put it in after we find it. So you're going to want to use a container. If you're using a container, you want either high sides on it so that the pill bug will not crawl out. And if it has shorter sides and you want to put a lid on it, make sure that you put air holes in the lid so that air can get in the container. We'll also remember that we're only going to be keeping the pill bug as we make an observation, and then we need to return it to where we found it so that it can continue living its life. Now, the pill bug won't harm you, so we don't want to harm it. So we're going to treat it very gently. Okay. Now, I have some containers that I just picked up from Dollar Tree. The one kit that I got has this bigger container in it. I have a paper towel in there right now, and it also came with a little bug catcher and a pair of tweezers so that I could observe the pill bug. The whole kit cost me $1, right at my alley, nice and cheap. Okay, they also had a different one. This one is, this one you can put on your belt loop if you're going to go hiking to collect some different life specimens. And it also came with a net and tweezers. This one was also $1. So these are good options, but if you have an old leftover container, that'll work just fine too. I also took out with me a plastic spoon because when I collected my pill bug, sometimes you have to dig in the dirt. And so I wanted to have a spoon to dig around in the dirt. If you're using a small container like this, you don't need to do anything. Just put the pill bug in there, but we can't keep it in there for a long time. So just do the observation, then we put it back. If you have a larger container, I would like you to take a paper towel and moisten it. Now, you don't want to get it super wet. You just want to have it moist, and then put it in there and put half of your container with your paper towel and half of it leave it dry, okay? Because we want to observe whether the pill bug likes moist or dry conditions. And so since we don't know to start with, we want to provide both so that the pill bug will go into the area that it prefers, okay? So I'm going to bring up my presentation here, and while I am doing that, you can go ahead out and you can pause this video and go out and collect your pill bug, and we'll make our observation together. I already have my pill bug in here, and we will be observing mine, and you will be observing yours. So pause the video, get your container, an adult, and a spoon to dig in the dirt. Oh, to find the pill bug, the best way to do it is to go into an area that has a lot of rotting leaves and trees, and pick up a rock, and under the rock or under a rotting log, you should find all kinds of pill bugs. I found mine that way. Also, I live in an area that has a lot of clay, and pill bugs don't love clay. So the best place for me to find it was, I have an area in my backyard where I dump old potting soil from plants. And I went there and broke apart the potting soil, the old potting soil, and there are all kinds of pill bugs in there to collect. So I got mine in here. You can see he's right there in my container. So pause the video, get your adult, get your container, go out and turn over a rock or log and collect your pill bug. Then meet me back here when you have your pill bug. Okay. Now, I'm hoping you have your pill bug, and we are now back with my presentation, Pill Bugs and Biomimicry. This is what the pill bug looks like, okay? You can see what its body is. Now, this is an enlarged picture because as you can see, our pill bug is pretty small. So we're going to be observing our pill bug, and we are going to be using this book next time you see a pill bug. So on the very first few pages, it gives you some questions as to what you would be looking for. So I went ahead and gave us the anticipation guide before we start observing to see what we know or what we think we know about pill bugs before we get into it. Now, you're just guessing here. You don't know this information yet. So I just want you to make your best guess. I put here at the bottom, don't stress, just guess. We'll come back and look at this again after we have done our observation on our book. So just based on what we think so far, we're going to be answering these questions true or false. So the first, pill bugs have 14 legs. Do you think that's true or false? So you can write it down on paper. Number one, do you think it's true or false? Pill bugs have 14 legs. Okay, the next one is pill bugs are insects. You want to mark that down on your paper as number two. Do you think that's true or false? Pill bugs are insects. True or false? Okay. Number three, pill bugs hatch from eggs. Do you think that's true or false? Mark down number three on your paper and write down true or false if you think pill bugs hatch from eggs. Okay, number four, pill bugs roll into a ball when they feel threatened or scared. Okay, do you think that is true or false? Pill bugs roll into a ball when they feel threatened or scared. True or false? Okay. The next one, this should be number five. Pill bugs prefer very dry places. Do you think that's true or false? Pill bugs prefer very dry places. True or false? Mark that down on your paper. Now, we'll come back and visit these after we read our book and do our observation, and we'll see if we guessed correctly or not. Okay? So now, after you've collected your pill bug, you can put him in your container, and then we're going to make some observation. Now, there is another bug that looks very similar to a pill bug. It's called a sow bug. This is a sow bug. This is a pill bug. A sow bug, its shell is a little bit flatter, and it has little horns off the back, but otherwise they look very similar. Okay, this is the one that we're looking at today. It has some very special features that the sow bug does not have. So we're going to be looking for the pill bug. All right, and we're going to be looking at it very carefully. All right, so let's look at your pill bug and let's look at these questions. What shape is it? Okay, what color is it? Can you count its legs? Does it have eyes, a mouth, a nose, or ears? What words can you use to describe it? How does your hand feel as the pill bug moves around? So, as you are getting ready to observe it, write down these things on paper. What do you notice about its shape, its color? How many legs do you see? What else do you notice? Draw a picture of it. Okay, look at it through a magnifying glass or a hand lens and write down what you notice about it. Also, draw me a picture of what it looks like. Okay? Now, I'm not expecting some great drawing like I have over here. Something simple is fine. And I also provided you with a paper here connected to the video that has how you can observe your pill bug. So you can draw and label your sketch here. Tell me how many legs it has, what kind of body parts you notice. Then I want you to gently touch it and tell me what your pill bug does. Gently turn it over, tell me what your pill bug does. and then move it to the dry place in the container and tell me what your Pillbug does. All right. So go ahead and either draw this out on a piece of paper or you can print this out and make your observation. While you're doing that, I'm going to come back and I'm going to get out my Pillbug. Okay. I'm going to make sure I know he's in here. So just saw him. I'm going to pull out my paper towel. So there he is. Hi there, Mr. Pillbug. Okay. Now you can see he's on my thumb there. He's kind of, whoop. He walks pretty fast. So there he is. Okay. Now I'm observing that he's kind of an oval shape. I noticed that he has antenna and eyes. I can kind of count his legs. When he's walking, it looks like he has a whole big bunch. I'm not exactly sure how many. I would have to really observe him to count them. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put him in. Oh, well, he got a little scared there. And since I touched him, you know what he did? He rolled up in a ball and he's crawling on my computer screen right now, or computer keyboard. So I'm going to pick him up with my tweezers here. Oh, there we go. Back on. And I'm going to make some observations. There, I've got him back on my finger there. Okay, so I'm going to put him in my little container so that I can observe him a little bit better. Okay, so I've got him in my little container, and this one here has a hand lens. So I can turn my, and I can now count how many legs he has. All right. Then I can look at his eyes a little bit better. Oh, wow. And I'm counting the sections on his body. It looks like he has about 7 or 8 with a head. Oh, I can count his legs. I'm counting 5, 6, 7 on one side. So I assume he has 7 on the other. That would make 14. Okay. I'm going to jot down all the information. Ooh, when he turns, I flipped him over there. Ooh, he just curled into a ball. And now he is rolling around in his ball. Oh, well, he doesn't like being touched. He curls into a ball when I touch him. He curls in a ball when he flips over as well, and he flips himself right side up. Okay, now I had already noticed about the paper towel. When I had it in here, it was nice and moist, and I put him back in his main container here. There he goes. I had to shake him down off the side. Now, he's in the dry part. Now, let's see what happens when he's in the dry part. Kind of walking around. Oop, he doesn't like that dry part. So he's heading right over there to that wet paper towel. Oh, he's crawling in the paper towel. There he is. Now, I did collect some dirt. I put in there because I wanted him to be able to eat while he was in here. But then after this observation, I'm going to put him back where he belongs. So he's crawling around in the paper towel. So I can tell he's right there in that paper towel. He likes the moisture. He likes it moist. Okay, I'm going to put my lid back on here. And we're going to learn a little bit more about Pillbugs with the book. Next time you see a Pillbug. Now, I have linked the reading of this book where the author herself, Emily Morgan, reads it to you. And it has great pictures. So if you want to watch that, you're more than welcome to do that. But I'm going to read it to you here. And then if you want to go back and visit it, the video of her reading it, I have linked it on the page or on the presentation. So here she has a really great quote by Thomas Berry. Teaching children about the natural world should be seen as one of the most important events in their lives. Now here is a note to your parents or teachers about the information you'll be learning. Let's get started. Next time you see a Pillbug, gently pick it up and hold it in your hand. Does it roll into a ball? If so, be still and wait a few seconds for it to unroll. Let it crawl around. Look closely. What shape is it? What color is it? Can you count its legs? Does it have eyes, a mouth, a nose, or ears? What words can you use to describe it? How does your hand feel as the pillbug moves around? And I can tell you this when he's moving around. Some people call these animals roly-polies because they roll up into balls when they are touched. Others call them pillbugs because their bodies are shaped like pills. But these creatures are not really bugs at all. They are not even insects. A good way to find out if an animal is an insect is to count its legs. Adult insects have 6 legs, but pillbugs have 14 legs. If they are not insects, then what are they? Crustaceans. When most people hear the word crustacean, they think of crabs, lobsters, and shrimp. It's true that most crustaceans live in or near the ocean, but pillbugs are unusual crustaceans that live their entire lives on land. Like all crustaceans, pillbugs hatch from eggs. A female pillbug carries her eggs underneath her body. After the eggs hatch, she carries her tiny babies in a pouch for a few days or weeks. Baby pillbugs look a lot like their parents, but they are much smaller and lighter in color. So here's the egg. Here's the little baby, a lot smaller and it's white. It's almost see-through and transparent. The word that we would use. Okay? Crustaceans have exoskeletons or hard outer coverings. A pillbug's exoskeleton is thick on the top of its body and thinner on its underside, where the legs are attached. One of the most interesting things about the pillbug is how it uses its exoskeleton to defend itself. When a pillbug is threatened, it rolls up into a ball. This way, the exoskeleton protects the inner, softer part of its body. When you look closely at a pillbug, you'll notice that its exoskeleton is segmented or divided into sections. All crustaceans are segmented. Another thing crustaceans have in common is that their exoskeletons do not grow as the rest of their bodies grow. So, pillbugs must grow a new exoskeleton and shed the old one. This is called molting. They do this in 2 parts. First, they shed the back half, and a few days later, they shed the front half. If you see a pillbug that looks brownish red on half of its body, it's probably molting. Most crustaceans, such as crabs, lobsters, and crayfish, have claws or pinchers on some of their feet. However, pillbugs are different. All of their feet look the same. Because of this difference, scientists call pillbugs isopods, which means same feet. Compare the pillbug to the other crustaceans on these pages. What similarities and differences do you notice? Do you see some similarities between the pillbug and the other crustaceans on the page? There's another kind of isopod that looks very similar to a pillbug. It is called a sowbug. This is the sowbug. To tell the difference between these 2 isopods, look closely at the shape of the body. A sowbug is flatter on the edges than a pillbug's body, and it has 2 points sticking out of its last segment. Also, a sowbug is not able to roll itself into a tight ball like a pillbug can. Pillbugs can live in many different places as long as they can find rotting plants and or sometimes the shoots of new plants. They also need moisture and seem to prefer dark places. If you are searching for pillbugs, a good place to check is under a log or stone. Have you ever wondered how pillbugs breathe under there? Like most crustaceans, pillbugs breathe through gills. Their gills must be moist for them to breathe. That's why the damp environment under rocks and logs is a great place for pillbugs to live. Unlike most crustaceans, pillbugs cannot survive underwater for a long period of time. So a place that is damp but not too wet is the perfect place for a pillbug to live. Pillbugs are fun to watch and they don't bite. If you want to collect some pillbugs to observe, place them gently in a container. if you're going to keep them for more than a few minutes, add a damp paper towel so that they don't dry out. After you observe them, please put them back where you found them. So the next time you see a pill bug, remember that it's not a bug or an insect. It's a crustacean. This familiar animal that lives under the rocks and logs in your yard is most closely related to the shrimp, crabs, and lobsters that live in the sea. Isn't that remarkable? Now here they're showing you all the pictures and where they got them from. And then they give you some activities that you could do with pill bugs. Now, what we're going to do is I went ahead and made my observation. I drew my picture of my pill bug, and I put down that I counted 14 legs. And I also noticed some other things about its body. I said it has a heart, it has a head and eyes, antenna, and it has segments. And it actually has 7 segments other than its head and its thorax, its tail. And its shell is very hard. Now, when I touched it, it rolled into a ball. When I gently turned it over, it was able to turn itself right side up, and it rolled into a ball. And when I put it in the dry place, it went immediately to the wet paper towel. So, based on my observation and what I read from the book, I can now go back and look at the questions that we talked about earlier to see what we've learned. Okay. There's the video that I've attached with Emily Morgan reading it. So if you want to come back and hear her read it, that would be great. It's right there. Now, so let's look at what we learned. Pill bugs have 14 legs. Well, now we know that's true. So if they have 14 legs, can they be an insect? Well, no, pill bugs are not insects. They are crustaceans. Insects have 6 legs, and our pill bug has 14. Okay. Pill bugs hatch from eggs. We learned that was true, that they carry the eggs on the bottom of their exoskeleton until they're ready to hatch. Pill bugs roll up into a ball when they feel threatened or scared. Now, we learned that's true, and that's the one really cool thing about a pill bug that a sow bug cannot do. Pill bugs prefer very dry places, and we learned that was false because they need the moisture for their gills for them to breathe. Okay. Now, we're going to look at the biomimicry. We're going to look at how scientists and engineers look at animals to solve human problems. So biomimicry actually just means that we're imitating a living thing to solve a human problem. So bio means life, and mimic means to imitate or copy. So if we look at this bird right here, and we will notice it's flying, we can see that its beak, because of the special shape, breaks the air resistance and makes the bird fly faster. So we use this design of this beak to create this train so that it can break the air resistance and make the train travel faster. This is an example of using a living thing to solve a human problem. This is what we mean by biomimicry. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to look at how roboticists in South Korea and some in Germany have used the pill bug as something to observe to create a robot that has some characteristics that are very similar to the pill bug. They love the idea that the pill bug can curl up and have this hard exoskeleton when it's threatened. So you will notice that the pillbot that I'm going to show you a video of here in just a minute, and the Ola, which is another robot based on the pill bug, both curl up like that. So I want you to, when we look at the video, think about how does this pillbot compare to the real pill bug? What characteristics and body parts do you notice about it that are the same with the pill bug? And what do you think this robotic pill bug is used for? So let's go to the next slide where we will look at the video to look at what this pillbot can do. Okay. Okay, so here's the pillbot. Notice both uncurl when they want to. Now watch the pill bug. And up here, the pill bug's going to come up. Notice how the pill bug can crawl over things? The pill bot can also do the same thing because they mimic that body shape. Here's the pill bot climbing over all kinds of obstacles. Here's a hard exoskeleton right there. Keep it protected. There it can absorb a lot of shock because it has that hard exoskeleton and it's undamaged. Here it's rolling down, being protected, and now it can walk. So they use the pill bug as a live model to create the pill bot. Now they actually have now a pill bot 2, so they even made some more advancements on it. Okay. Now here's Ola. Ola was created by German roboticists. Now a roboticist is an engineer that designs robots. That's what they do. And this Ola is designed to fight forest fires. So you can see that it has the segmented body, and you can see it will roll up in a ball as well. Now I've connected on the next slide an article about Ola. And I want you to think about, as we're looking at that article, how does Ola compare to the real pill bug, and what is this robotic pill bug used for? So on my next slide, you will see I have Ola, the pill bug, and the pill bug robot. The concept is to fight forest fires. Okay. So here, there's the robot. And here we can see that it says German researchers at the University of Magdeburg, Stendal, have developed a concept for a robot shaped like a pill millipede that could potentially detect and fight forest fires. Were the Ola a real robot, it would be able to scuttle around the forest floors at speeds of around 6 to 12 miles per hour using infrared. Remember, infrared is that the electromagnetic wave that detects heat, using infrared and biosensors to detect fire sources. If it gets into trouble, it can curl up just like a real pill bug and be fully protected thanks to the ceramic fiber compound shell that can withstand temperatures of 1,300 degrees Celsius centigrade. According to the researchers, 30 of these Olas could protect a forest area as large as 2,700 square miles, while simultaneously freaking out hundreds of forest animals. So we know that our forest friend there, forest fire, can detect that. So there's 2 ways that they've taken the pill bug to create a robot. Now, another book that I've linked onto here is called, it's National Geographic's Kid Robots, and I have actually linked it on the next slide, and it can even read it to you if you wanted to. But this talks about how roboticists look at live animals to create robots. And one of the main living beings that they observe to create robots is humans, but they also observe insects, bugs, and other animals. So if you want to look at this book to get some more information on robots, I have linked it right here, and you can play the video and it will even read it aloud to you if you want. Okay. Now, what I want you to do for me is I want you to think about the pill bug, and I want you to design your own robot using biomimicry. So I want you to think about that pill bug and its movements and its body parts, and design your own pill bot that would solve a different human problem or need. Now, I don't want you to use the fire bug or the pill bot that I showed you earlier. I want you to come up with another human problem that your pill bot could solve. Now, as you're thinking about your design, here are some questions that could kind of get you started. So, what are some of the unique body parts you observed when you notice when observing your pill bug. So what did you notice about the pill bug and its body parts that you can incorporate into, into your robot? Okay. What are some unique movements and behaviors that your pill bug did that you want to mimic or copy? I like that it rolled up into a ball, or it had segments, or could climb over obstacles. Maybe it goes into dark places, or can go places that are wet. Okay. What are some human problems that a pillbot might be able to solve? Now, since we noticed that the pillbot has that hard exoskeleton, and we could probably roll it into places that are not safe for humans to go, think about some places that are unsafe for humans to explore that a pillbot might be able to do for us. Would that give you any ideas? Are there any jobs that a robotic pillbug could do that humans could not? Are there any toys or devices that could be inspired by the pillbug's movements or body parts? Okay, now I've given you a handout, and if you click down here, it'll link on. I got that from my book, Picture Perfect STEM Lessons K to 2. And it's written by Emily Morgan and Karen Ainsbury, and I do have that linked on there. I want you to name your pillbot, label the pillbot your design, and make sure you tell me what your pillbot, well, all the parts of it. Tell me what your pillbot solves. What problem does it solve? Then tell me how. How does it solve that problem? And then down here, how is this an example of biomimicry? Okay. Now I have thought of my own, and you can't copy mine either. Okay. And I was thinking about our area. Now I live near Farmington, West Virginia, and in our area in West Virginia, we have a lot of coal mines, and we've had in our past, and even in the not so distant past, a lot of coal mine collapses and coal miners getting killed. And I thought, well, that's a dangerous place. And how could I design a pillbot to solve that problem? So I called mine Miner Finder Bot. So my robot, my pillbot, is going to be designed to go into a coal mine to find some coal miners that might have gotten trapped in a mine collapse. And so what I did was I drew my cave, and here's my pillbot right here. And I gave some labels, like right here, he has 2 cameras. This first one here is an infrared camera. And remember, infrared detects heat. And so if it notices heat, that would be like a human that's alive that we're trying to rescue. So he's going to use an infrared camera to help him find life in the cave. And then here's a regular camera. Now the regular camera would be used so that the pillbot can send that a video to the emergency people outside, so that they can see inside the cave to know where is it safe inside the mine, where is it safe to travel to rescue the coal miner. Then I thought, well, in this part of my segmented body, it should carry some extra food and water. That way it can keep the coal miners alive until we find them and rescue them, and even some oxygen tanks and oxygen masks for them to live temporarily while we are trying to save them. So I put the problem my pillbot solves is rescuing miners from coal mine collapses. My pillbot solves the problem by bringing needed emergency supplies and oxygen, as well as showing emergency workers the safe way to rescue the miners. Then I put, my pillbot is an example of biomimicry because it rolls up like a pill bug to get down hills. It can use its 14 legs to get over obstacles, and it can go in the dark places. So those are some examples of how my robot, my Miner Finder bot, is an example of biomimicry. I use the Pillbugs body frame and its characteristics to help me design this robot that would solve our problem around here. So that's what I want you to do. And I'd like you to draw it up, tell me what it solves. You can use the paper that I linked, or you can just draw it on a sheet of paper. Send me your model so that I can see what you have come up with, because I know you can come up with some great, great ideas. I need one to protect my iPad because I'm always losing and dropping that, and I need to make sure I find it all the time. So that's another idea. Maybe one of you guys could come up with a way that we could use that Pillbug idea to help Mrs. Suter with her iPad problem. All right, now, after you do that and send it to me, you can even go on and extend a little bit further. And so on the next slides, what I put is a video about RoboSnail. And this is how scientists, roboticists, and engineers are designing a robot that mimics the movement of snails and slugs, because snails and slugs can crawl up the sides of buildings. And so if we want to create a robot that would do that, we are going to be studying snails and slugs and how they move and what their body creates that it can help them do that. So I have put a video linked on the next slide of them looking at the slugs and snails and how they're using that to design their robot. And then what I'd like you to do is see if you can create, here's the RoboSnail video. What I would like you to do is to even extend further. And I would like you to come up with another animal that you could observe and create a different robot from it. And tell me, how is your robot similar to the real animal? What did you copy or mimic? And what is your robot going to solve? So what problem can it solve? So I'd like you to, you can draw it out on paper. You don't have to copy this, but you can if you want. I would like you to do that same thing. I would like you to tell me about the robot you designed, what problem it solves, and how it is like the animal that you picked to mimic. Okay? So I'd like you to become a roboticist. Now, that's really the end of the lesson. I would like for you to make sure that you send me any things that you create. So remember, if you have drawings of your robots and even observations of your Pillbug that you noticed, I would love for you to send me a picture or an email or a video of your design, and I'd like to see what you create. So remember to take your Pillbug back, put him back where he belongs, and send me your designs. Remember, my email is M as in Margie, Suter, S-U-D-E-R, at k12.wv.us. Now, I can't wait to see what you've done, and I'll be coming back later for another lesson. I think I'm going to do on physics. Anyway, talk to you later. Bye.